Alright, hello everybody. It is I, Granarite, and here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Assassin's Creed Syndicate. This episode we're going to be going to World War One and seeing about getting that World War One. It's got our last bit of collectibles, and it's got one story mission and then some side missions to do there. And so we're gonna go get that done. Probably won't get it all done in this episode, but we'll get what we can done in this episode. Happy Friday. Hope everybody is doing well. Alright, we're just gonna run over here. You can already see in the distance there's a nice beam there. See what place I can zip up to. We're just gonna have to get over to it. Oh, coming.
Perhaps we have met before. Perhaps not. You search for an artifact. Let me show you the truth.
The darkest hour. Bunch of 0-1s.
Hello. In the past, you hunt for one of my artifacts, but I come to you today to speak of the future. Follow Lydia Fry. She will lead you to me.
Okay. So let's see what this Lydia Fry has to do for us. Is it messing up because of the desync thing? What is this baloney? Come on, game. It's a cutscene. Alright, now it's going. It doesn't have the desync thing. That was dumb.
What's the position of the second wave?
Use the generator to attract a spy. Okay, like this one?
Don't worry, it's just the generator acting up. I'll see to it.
Easy enough.
Stop right there!
That's not very polite.
Even in these trying times, we must never forget the laws of common courtesy. Arms down.
Let's all Winston.
We appear to have been following the same trail, Miss Fry.
I got here first.
Indeed, you are to be commended. I fear, however, that we have not wholly rooted out evil in this vicinity.
There's another radio.
Accompany me, if you would be so kind. That second device must be found, or new waves of Zeppelins will soon blanket the heavens.
Short on soldiers, are we?
If you could put your considerable talents to good use at Tower Bridge, you would have the thanks of a brave but beleaguered nation.
I would settle for the right to vote.
Alright, so there was something there. Find information about the radio, steal information about the radio. Okay. We're gonna skip the collectibles for now. We're gonna focus on the mission. Alright, I took all of them out.
Here's a mention of a radio. Where is it?
Alright, so our next one seems to be over here.
Untie me right now. That's my phone.
There we go.
I'm getting closer. The radio's close to the river, but I need more than this.
Let's get back up. I think we're just gonna go in and fight here. All right. She doesn't do as much damage as our other two.
Clever. The radio's in the bridge itself, North Tower. I should drop by and say hello.
Really just looking for more throwing knives. We'll read some database entries here in a bit. Stay out of searchlights to avoid being shot by snipers. Okay. Oh, wait, what just happened? Whew, I thought the game was gonna crash there for a sec. Where am I supposed to reach on this thing? All right.
It is done, sir.
Let us postpone celebrations. One of the bloody blimps has broken through. Not to worry. I have a contingency plan.
Destroy the first wave of planes. Okay.
But I have pointed at things before.
Alright, so we can just keep firing this thing, so that's nice.
Over there! They're coming for us! In position, huh? Gun at the ready.
Alright. I don't see any planes yet. Destroy the final wave, okay. Gonna probably have to go behind cover on this one. I was trying to get him without doing that. Alright, there we go. Now what?
Heartwarming sight, Miss Fry.
Your remarkably armed boat deserves a share of recognition.
One of my experimental projects when I was Lord of the Admiralty. I haven't always been a man of shadows.
And I suppose this victory will thrust you back into the limelight.
We may have struck a blow against the enemy, but London is still riddled with German agents. Currently, there's a new group, unlike anything I've seen before. Theirs is a fanatical, almost religious fervor.
And you believe I'm the woman to flush them out?
Indeed. I dare not approach Mr. Asquith without firmer evidence, but I believe they pose an immediate threat. If you concede to this, I give you my word that once I've battled my way back into Parliament, I shall see if something can't be done about your request. As you're aware, a vote can be far more lethal than a bullet or a blade.
Once I walked the earth as you do. I was born to the illuminati. astronaut cast in the city of Phaeon in the year 2195 of the Isu era. Now I travel the vast corridors of your machines, adrift here within the gray. But I grow stronger. The world is nearly ready for my return. And so I have summoned you to this war-torn simulation to tell you a story. It is our story.
All right. Not sure about all these Boros here. So let's, okay, I need to get to a map really quick, I think. I've earned 4 skill points. What skills do you have? None. Okay. Alright, just a sec before we read those entries. We're going to keep them where they are. Okay. So there's 40 chests, 20 fragments. I'm looking for a shop, and it says there's one over here. Is it up? Okay, the shop is up in here. Okay. Oh, and there's only consumables here? Okay, well, just a second.
Get your everyday essentials right here. Just come talk to me. Look no further.
Alright, so before we go help Winston some more, let's see about getting collectibles. And we're going to read some database entries. So what do we got here? Lydia Fry, date of birth 19th March 1893, born into relative comfort. Jacob's granddaughter Lydia was initially reluctant to enter the family business, preferring to concentrate on her studies. However, it was this very education that showed her just how much influence the Templars still held over the history of the world. After seeing friends and family fall in the secret battle, she decided to join the fight. Lydia's parents were often engaged in assassin missions across the continent, so the role of instructor fell to her grandfather Jacob and grand-aunt Evie. She became a very well-balanced assassin, one who could carefully assess any situation and strike with precision, but one who could also think for herself and improvise when a plan fell through. Lydia fell in love with fellow assassin named Sam Crowder, and they were married shortly before the outbreak of the First World War. Assassins from all over Europe were pulled in every direction in order to have a presence in every theater of the war and seat of power. While Sam, along with many others from the British Brotherhood, enlisted in the army, Lydia took it upon herself to stay and watch over London. After securing the elder Fry safely away in the countryside, Lydia returned to London and worked alone to protect it. Not only from German spies and the manipulative British right of the Templar Order, but also from a new strange threats that sought to take advantage of the chaos. Winston Churchill, date of birth 30th November 1874. Born in 1874 into an influential aristocratic family, Winston believed that he was destined for great things from the start, and was obsessed with eclipsing his ancestors, all very healthy. Among them, his father, Lord Randolph Churchill, who served as Chancellor of the Exchequer and the first Duke of Marlborough, and won a series of battles against the French in the War of the Spanish Succession, which makes him rather likable in my eyes. In 1895, Winston Churchill joined the British Army, serving in the Indian Northwest frontier and the Sudan. 4 years later, he left to work as a war correspondent and was taken prisoner by the Boers while reporting on the war in South Africa. He escaped by traveling almost 300 miles to Mozambique. It was after this that he entered politics, quickly developing a reputation for self-aggrandizement, particularly after his highly publicized presence in the police siege on the streets of London, where he allegedly gave direction on the ground. In 1911, he became the first Lord of the Admiralty and oversaw the modernization of the British Navy. It was in this position he was first involved in the First World War, obsessing over how to counter the German submarine threat. Forced to resign over the failed Battle of Gallipoli, Churchill stepped outside of politics to lead a brigade on the Western Front, experiencing the war firsthand before returning to Britain, where he would become Minister of Munitions in 1917. His supervision of the production and delivery of tanks, planes, and ammo to the front was credited as a significant contributor to Germany's defeat. It was his role during the Second World War for which he was most remembered, though. As Prime Minister during the conflict, he was celebrated for his tactical news, leadership, and steadfast refusal to allow the Nazis to succeed. Later, he would continue to shape world events, pushing for social reform in Britain, and winning the Nobel Prize for Literature. He died of a stroke in 1965, arguably having achieved precisely what he set out to do in his youth. Tower Bridge. By the last quarter of the 19th century, commerce in East End had reached such new levels that it was necessary to build a new bridge to support its development. The committee in charge of selecting the design had to contend with the difficulty of the late 19th century river traffic, which led to the final choice of a two-level bridge, a lower bascule bridge which could raise and lower to allow tall-masted ships to pass, and an upper walkway which pedestrians could use at all times. Construction of the Tower Bridge, which earned its name due to its proximity to the Tower of London, began in 1886 and lasted 8 years. It required a monumental engineering effort, not least in the creation of the hydraulic system used to operate the bascules. Its huge pumping engines were driven by steam until 1976, where they were replaced by an electrical system. The upper walkway was seldom used and became a haunt for criminals and prostitutes, leading to its closure in 1910, which seems a rather unexciting decision, although it gained a new function during the World War as the site for some of the many anti-aircraft guns installed to protect the city from German Zeppelins. All right. So we're going to start getting collectibles here. We had a chest here, and then it looks like there's another chest over here. Come on. Hi. Alright, we have a letter from the front over here. Dear Lizzie, Daddy is still far away on his great adventure, but he misses you very much and thinks of you every moment. I know you wanted with all your heart that I should be there for your birthday, and I wanted it too. I hope you liked the present I sent. Hold it tight when you go to sleep, and that way I will be closer to you. You must do everything Mummy tells you, and study hard at school, and make me very proud, as I know you will. Already from your letter, I can see how nicely you write and how very clever you are getting. I have made a new friend here who likes to write too. His name is Wilfred, and he spends much of his time writing poetry. If you're a good little girl, I will ask him to write a poem for you. Would you like that? With all the love, Daddy. Sergeant Michael Peril was killed at the Battle of Somme the following month. Well, that's sad. Alright, so we have some stuff around the bridge that we can get. Alright, there's that one. This one wants us to jump down there to get it. But that didn't seem to work. Maybe if I go in between the two bridges. No, thank you. That still didn't do it. Let's get over here really quick. So there was a fragment on top. Looks like there's also a chest up here. So there's a few things up here for us to get. Okay. Okay, I'm still just trying to figure out how to get this fragment. doesn't seem like I'm quite over it though. Can I jump from in here or something? Doesn't look like it. That still didn't get it. We just die here. Okay. Wow, that puts you far away. The only other thing I could think of is we could try at an angle here from below. If there's a way we can like zip up past it. But that doesn't seem like it's like I can zip from down there up there, but I can't zip from right here up there. And it definitely seems like it wants us to jump into it, but I don't know how. But see, that doesn't get us over far enough. We're spend the whole episode trying to figure out how to get this one fragment. Well, we tried jumping from there, we tried jumping from there. I just don't know. There's no way to zip over there from here. Like, I can zip all the way up, but I can't zip over to there. Let me see here. Oh, so they want you to... Okay. Alright, let's try this. No. Okay, so we need to do that weird, the jump from a line, and I still didn't get it. I mean, it's gotta be precise. All right, there we go. So that's about as close as I can get. All right, what do we get here in the database? Present day. We got some World War I stuff. So this is the letter that we read. So the assassin intel. So we have a DDS genetic memory export subject, Publius Voluminous, 1 out of 1, date 42 BC, location Philippi, Macedonia. We surrounded Brutus's body, mourning the passing of one of Rome's great defenders. His life was taken by his own hand. Marcus Antonius has sent us his finest mantle to wrap the body. A feeble gesture, after all. It will refuse to stand against Octavian that caused our defeat. We will pretend to accept Antonius' gesture for now, but we have brought a shroud of our own. We wrap it around the body and step back. We have never used it before. We are frightened. Movement. We raise an edge of the shroud and Brutus's eyes open. His arms lift and bend with restored life. His fingers grip the air as if he pulls himself back into his body. He does not breathe or speak. He simply lays there unmoving, unblinking. He is not warm. He does not react or touch. Whatever power lies in this artifact, it has not returned our brother to us. We close his eyes again. There is no sign that he had ever moved. Some of us weep. It is the second death. We remove the shroud and return it to its plain wooden box. And then wrap Brutus's and Antonius' gift. Forgive us, brother. They have taken from us from Roma, but now it is not time to respond. We must regroup, plan, prepare for what is sure to come. Repeat after me, children. There is no piece of Eden that can bring someone back from the dead. Stop asking. All right, so there is another fragment over here, it looks like, if I can... want to go, like, over here. See if we can just zip around to it. Oh, don't do that. Well, whatever. There it is. You see it up there. Get rid of this mark here. So we'll work on getting stuff in the river here today, and then we'll work on getting stuff on the ends. We had found this chest before when we were over here. We just kind of left it. Alright, and then we had another chest over here. Alright. Wait for this to turn back towards the other one. And we had a letter from the front over here. September of 1915. Dear Mother, I just wanted to let you know that we have arrived at Luce and way at the top of France. We're not making jokes about the name now that we're here and everyone is very nervous while we wait for the order. Everyone tells such grim stories and every day you hear something worse. I think you are right in that it was a very silly thing to do coming here and lying on the form like that. But if you tell everyone that I'm only 17 and that I should be sent home, everything will be all right. Ask Reverend Farrell and he can talk to the right people because I'm really not supposed to be here and I want to come back home. All my love, Francis. Private Francis Kelly was reported missing a week later. His body was never recovered. All right, and then we have a chest and fragment this way. There's the chest. All right, and our fragment should be over there somewhere. There it is. Yeah, we might just make this a longer episode and see if we can get all the collectibles in this episode, and then we'll do the missions in the next one type of thing. Should be a chest over this way. You can see it shimmering in front of us. Alright, letter from the front over here. Dear Uncle, I am recovering quite well from my wounds, so the doctors tell me. There is still a thick air of dejection in the hospital, and we all remember the friends we have lost in what a futile effort we have lost them. The scene at the Dardanelles will haunt us for many years, I expect, though I am pleased to hear your news from home. Churchill deserves much worse than to be cast out of the Admiralty for the mess he brought us into at Gallipoli. If, as you say, he is making plans to see the Western Front for himself, then no doubt his recklessness will bring him graver punishment. I look forward to sailing home once I am sufficiently well, and appreciate your offer of a post in Westminster. I intend to do you proud and to endeavor to win this war from the offices of London, since I accomplished so little here. Your faithful nephew George, Lieutenant George Featherway, had a short career as a politician and prospered as a businessman after the war.
Something going on.
All right, and then we were walking forward as we read that, so we could get that. Hi. So fragment up here. And a chest. Another fragment over there. What's this to get into the tree to get that one? Good deal. Come on, up. The game says there's 2 chests here. Where am I? Is the other chest over here more, I'm guessing? We can figure out where exactly I'm supposed to be going. There it is. No spotlights. Remember what it said about snipers. I don't want to take these guys out, but if they're going to be that way. Alright, how am I to get that? Let's get down to this flat portion here. All right. All right, dear Father Spencer, I am writing to you because I don't wish to unburden myself on my family, and you have so often been a source of spiritual solace. It's true I haven't always been the most diligent churchgoer in town, but I left this war with a prayer in my heart, and your words when we last spoke have been ever present in my mind. It can only be God's grace that allows me to write to you now, with so many of my companions suffering a worse fate. You may read what is happening in the papers. Of the frightening happening by the River Somme, however terrible their accounts and however alarming the number of casualties reported, nothing can come close to describing the horror of the battlefield. All I remember is the noise and the sliding of my boots in the mud as I ran. Only it wasn't mud, Father. It wasn't only mud. Once I fell and lay in it, mercifully unconscious. I woke to find something heavy weighing me down. And either what seemed like hours, too afraid to move until someone pushed the body off me and saw I still lived. How can such things happen in the world, Father, and how are we to bear them? Stephen Bennings, Sergeant Bennings, returned home weeks after Battle of Somme, was diagnosed with shell shock. All right. And so now we need to go, it looks like down here-ish. The way I'm facing. There's a letter down there. So let's get these marked off. We'll wait for this battalion to walk by before we go get this. All right. So what did we just get with that one? Dear Katie, I want you to know that I am well and still in the north of France. The photograph you gave me is a constant source of comfort, no matter what is happening around me. I can look at the picture of you in your parents' garden and feel the warmth of a summer day. I haven't forgotten my vow. Soon I shall return and we shall be married, and all this awfulness will be forgotten. I ask you not to read the accounts of what are appearing in the newspapers in the meantime. They will only worry you without cause. Think of me as I was on our last day, standing at the station in my new uniform, and know that the train will bring me back. Will not be long now. Your ever-loving Christopher. Corporal Christopher Albin was killed in battle 3 weeks later. Well, go away, boys. This one's inside. Bouticus I don't know what exactly that was, but okay. See if we can get up to this flag and get this one. All right. Then we'll get out of here. All right, it said there were like 3 chests around here. That doesn't look like a place that we can get into right now, maybe. Oh, here it is.
The rock skull is here!
Alright, let's finish out this side of the river, then we're going to call it an episode. Awesome. Get this one on the submarine. Where exactly am I? Okay. This map's orientation is a little odd. Right, we got all the lock chests, so that's good.
That looks like a mess I should stay clear of.
Give you one more!
August 1914. Dear Mother and Father, I know that you have fretted me ever since I decided to come here, and I'm having the most wonderful time and learning to become a man at last. The lads like to tease me because I am so slight, just as they did back home, but with a rifle in my hands, I'm just as strong as any of them. Yesterday, we stopped for a very pleasant afternoon in a small Belgian market square, sharing cigarettes under the sun, and this morning we marched alongside the Mons Canal. Dad will be able to find it in our book of world maps, I'm sure. We're all ready and eager to face the Germans and put an end to the silly war. I've got to learn they can't bully me like this. We're going to teach them a lesson. I'll be back home in weeks, and I can start work at the factory just like you wanted. They won't turn a war hero away. Love, Artie. Private Arthur Harris died in the first battle between the British and German troops days later. All right, 2 here. And there's our last 2. Alright. So really we don't have that much left to get. I think we're just going to make this a longer episode and we're going to get all these collectibles done. Let's just fast travel over here. I kept trying to do it, and she kept not wanting to do it. Running the wrong way. No, I'm running the right way. There should be another chest over here. Is there a letter from the front over here? Oh, here it is. Dearest Mother, thank you for the tins of food you sent me. I didn't think half they didn't half make me popular with the lads. I'm getting along quite well, but always I miss you terribly. I read little Tommy's letter and wish I could have been there with you. It must have been so frightening with all those bombs started falling. Of course, Tommy thinks the Zeps are the most exciting thing ever to happen to London, but you must make sure he doesn't try to leave the house and get a better view of them if they ever come your way again, which I hope and pray they don't. The weather here is getting better by the day. Your loving son, Jeremy, Corporal Jeremy Talbot, returned home 6 months later, 2 weeks after his younger brother Tommy was killed after a Zeppelin bomb hit his school. Well, that's sad.
Come back again by all means.
Alright, so there's a chest. There's 2 chests here. Oh, I thought there was a letter here.
I'll come right over there and deal with you myself.
Well, there it is on the map. Alright. My dearest Emma, I don't know if you received my last letter, and I hope this finds you and Harry well. The last week has been very difficult. We have marched over 12 miles before we found the old trench, and almost right away the German shells started to hit us and shake the earth. Never was I more frightened in all my life. Every night I pray to see you both and see your faces when I close my eyes. Never forget I love you, Terrence. Lieutenant Terrence O'Connor returned home at the end of the war. Alright, let's look at these ones over here. Oh, there's the fragment. And there should be 2 chests here? Yeah, there's one up there and one down here. And then another fragment. Oh no, climb up the pole. Do I need to get there from this? From this? There we go. Alright, so we just got to get this area up above the bridge, and then we should be done. There we go. We'll deal with those database entries in just a sec.
No more confusion. Henceforth you'll
Dear Becky, your brother Andrew has asked that I write to you as he is presently unable to do so himself. Please do not be alarmed, though. He has only the most superficial of wounds and is recuperating nicely. He would like me to tell you that the injury was incurred during a daring one-man incursion into enemy territory where he defeated half the German deployment while escaping with mere scratches. I feel I should succumb to the truth and tell you instead that he accidentally set off his rifle while polishing it. Luckily, the bullet only grazed his arm. He hopes you are well and that those damn Zeppelins have failed to deliver their bombs anywhere near Bromley. I certainly hope to meet you one day, as your brother has told me much about you. Until then, I remain your faithful servant and Andrew's right hand, Peter Sterling. Both Corporal Andrew Fellows and Corporal Sterling were killed months later when a vehicle transporting them was hit by mortar fire. All right, almost done. So we had gotten some more assassin intel. We'll mark these off really quick.
Hello, Elvira.
What the hell do you want?
Don't look so glum. Let me tell you what I've been working on lately. We sent Berg to India last year to chase a lead involving Koh-i-Noor. It was a dead end, but we did manage to find some data on an assassin from the 1800s, Arbaz Mir.
And?
And, while that's all very interesting, when we looked further into his genetic line, we found this.
Arbaz Mir's son was in London, so what?
Look closer.
Blah, blah, assumed name Henry Green, blah, blah. CMC and the assassins were searching for... Oh, my God. You found another one.
My teams are working outward from this sample. We've scoured Helix and tracked down a set of memories from the Grand Master of the British Rite, Crawford Sterick. We're also looking for data on other assassins of the era.
Don't you have anyone searching for the new shroud?
No one yet. You want to call in Berg?
As soon as humanly possible. Isabel, what brings you here?
I came to gloat, actually. Look at this data.
A sage.
It gets better. Check his patrilineal line.
Let's see. Patrilineal line. 19th century American Midwest. 18th century American Revolution. 16th century Ottoman Empire. 15th century Italian Renaissance. Oh my God. You don't mean...
Yeah. The best part? His mother just walked him into one of your new clinics in New York City.
I'd really like to strip him for parts like we did with Subject 17.
Oh, no, you don't. You had your chance with the Shroud. This asset is mine, and I won't be a party to the needless mutilation of a 10-year-old boy. It's inhumane.
So what do you plan to do with him?
Given his unique lineage, I think we should put him into an animus for the next 50 years. Think of the data we could extract.
That's terribly old-fashioned. In any case, we should send Sigma team to recover him.
No. I'm going to keep an eye on him for now. We'll collect him when the time is right.
Alright, so we have another fragment up here. Like I said, we're almost done getting collectibles. Alright, we head north of here. Should just be 2 chests up here. Looks like they're in this red zone. That hasn't stopped us before. All right. Chest is up there. How are you, old chum? It seems like years. I left for France, but it's only been 2 months. I know in the past I've teased you, Alfie, but that bad leg of yours is a blessing in disguise. The truth is that you haven't missed out on any great excitement. Maybe at first it felt that way, but the longer things get on, the more this feels like a terrible punishment. It will be Christmas soon back in England, but not in these cold and wet fields. This week, we have dug a new trench. We all joked that we were digging our own graves. We laughed, Alfie, but I wonder if it wasn't the truth, and that we all knew it. Your Private Gerald Culling, returned to England and spent the rest of the war in a military hospital.
Where does she think she's going?
Just looking for chests, man.
Oh shit, she's in my sight! I see her!
No, put him down.
Please, let me live. I don't want to die.
Up. What?
He's gonna get someone killed.
He nearly did already.
Someone's waiting in here.
There that went. Yeah, it looked like the rest were just over here. Yep, there they all are. How do I get in here? Other side, maybe? No, it was right there.
Lest I risk exposing myself, then what would happen to us?
All right, and just to show, miscellaneous, 100% on everything. We're done with all the chest viewpoints, letters from the front, and animus fragments, and locked chest. So story-wise, it doesn't look like there's anything else here, but I know there's some little side missions, so we'll just see about doing those. Anyway, we're going to end the story right now. We do hope you all enjoyed. We'll see you next time.